Hey guys, welcome to Dow Jones Futures and ES Futures review. I'm going to go over both those tickers now. We already had a Dow Jones review a little earlier today. I'm going to go over what I anticipated and what played out. So in the last video I mentioned we were here at the time and I was looking at a failed breakdown of the morning low as well as the potential lows we had from Tuesday and Wednesday overnight. Because they were so close to each other, it did make sense that you want to clear all of them. So the failed breakdown trigger would have been around 45.20 up here. However, we ended up losing that low. So I'm going to delete this trigger because now I got focused on this low. I had a red line here signifying that this is the low here and there's a low here. I mentioned in the last video that if we did end up just losing this one and not this one, that would be perfectly fine, as I'm now getting more used to how Dow Jones plays very often. And that I would want this major level to clear. That's exactly kind of what worked out, and that's exactly from where we took off around 3 o'clock. Awesome late day long for that failed breakdown, and that worked out great for almost 20 plus points in a matter of half an hour. So be patient with failed breakdowns. Be patient with Dow Jones. A lot of times you might not lose the low you're looking for, but it'll get close. So then you have to play level reclaims. In this case, we got one low that we lost, but if this low didn't exist, then it would have been a level reclaim of this level. There was a mini low here, and I would have been comfortable going long in this general area. So now with Dow Jones, without changing the levels for tonight and tomorrow, the very simple setup I can tell you is we need structure. So we need some setup here. We need some selling. We are closing at the high of the day. That's never good. There's still over 20 minutes, but most likely that'll close around here. The first scenario, if we don't get structure but just simply selling, would be a dip in recovery, whether that's dipping below this area and tagging this major level, dipping below this major level and tagging this before recovering above, or something of that nature. Ideally, we can get a low set, bounce, lose that low, and set up a failed breakdown somewhere here, or maybe even in this area where we can potentially undercut this little minor low and set up a failed breakdown that'll take us continuing to go up. We are close to this middle of the bull flag that I've mentioned in many of the past Dow Jones videos that I'm watching, so let's see how that works out. Otherwise, a failed breakdown of today's low and or yesterday's morning's low would be awesome on Dow Jones futures. Now, let's go straight to ES futures. We closed around the high of the day yesterday, and we opened at the high of the day on the evening session. What did we do after? We sold sideways and consolidated. Classic formation after moving right on up. After that, we decided to almost tag the 64.22 level area zone. Not much was available all last night into going into bed. Afterwards, which we did reclaim this level around 3 o'clock, and that worked out for a couple levels up. When I woke up around 7 o'clock, there was not much to do. We were already hovering at some highs. At this point, I'm looking for some selling, some pullback, maybe a level reclaim, dip in recovery at this major level. We started getting that around 9, and it's not my favorite setup, so I just decided not to take it. Afterwards, which we dipped even more, almost tagged this level, then came back up to recover that level. Now with so much acceptance, I was comfortable taking the long around 10:30, and that was around 64.50, and that got me about 10-11 points before fizzling out and getting stopped out of my runner around 1 o'clock. We got a failed breakdown there, a mini failed breakdown that I did not enter since I was just out of my position. I would have not gone long until we were above this major level again. 64.48 was very important all throughout the last 24 hours. So from there, we came down. We almost lost these lows, but not quite. And we just kind of sat below here. So at this point, I'm thinking level reclaim of 64.36. There were a couple of clear minor lows here, including this one that ran for over 20 something points, almost 30. So that was definitely a visible low that I saw. So now if I was to go long, the safer route would have been up here above these lows. However, I did notice on a 15-minute chart, there was a clear new resistance forming around 64.34 that could not get pushed through. And then a little later around 3:15, I noticed we came back up to it and tried pushing through it. So after we got above it and above this major level, I did go long around 64.37, and that has worked out great for 23 points. We pushed through 64.48 again. And now moving forward in ES, since we were closing near the high of the day, clear resistance right here on 64.65. Only thing we can hope for is pullback, structure, maybe a low is set, we bounce, come back below that low, and set up a failed breakdown at either one of these major zones. Otherwise, a failed breakdown of the lows from today will be great. If we can't manage that, we keep selling. There's a couple lows down here, including one from Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday late morning. So that's the update right now on both ES and Dow Jones futures. Just zooming out real quick on ES, we're still within this big bull flag that I believe we're looking at. And I think we're now targeting the resistance once again. We should be getting there sometime this week probably, and that will determine the rest of September most likely.